I wanted to bring you guys 3 simple steps to really be able to make a change in any area of your life. Any area that you want to bring some calm confidence into. This is what I do with my swimmers. This is what I do for myself. So here's the 3 steps I want to talk about, give you today so you can play with this in your own life. I call this the foundation of change. So the first step is to welcome to the Mindfulness in Motion podcast, the podcast that explores recreational activities infused with mindfulness so we can move beyond simply existing and live with more joy and curiosity and freedom. I am your host, Cori Myka. Can't say my own name. Cori Myka is my name. And I am joined together today, I'm going to say it again, with Cori Myka. Today, I'm talking to myself. No, actually, I'm talking to you. No guest today. And the reason why is I wanted to bring you guys 3 simple steps to really be able to make a change in any area of your life. Any area that you want to bring some calm confidence into. This is what I do with my swimmers. This is what I do for myself. How I went from being terrified and overwhelmed every time I went to the doctor, leaving in more and more panicky attack feeling at the end, to now I can smile and make eye contact and have nice, pleasant conversations, even if they're giving me some painful procedure, right? Made a huge change using these steps. It's even the steps I use, recreationally. Just went to Morocco this year and learned to boogie board. We put that video out on our YouTube page last week. Go check that out. And it's the steps that I used. I'm an excellent swimmer, but I don't know anything about boogie boarding, really, except for what I did when I was 6 years old. And I went and I had this terrible inflammation event on the plane. And I have, switching from being in the teacher seat to the learner seat, being in all that space of I don't know and group dynamics and all that stuff, right? I use these 3 steps to be able to build this calm confidence in a circumstance that was unsure, somewhere from unsure to really, frankly, the medical stuff is more like trauma kind of things. So here's the 3 steps I want to talk about, give you today so you can play with this in your own life. I call this the foundation of change. So the first step is to be where you are, to notice your current location. And this is both literally and figuratively. It's the literal, I am present in this place, like feeling your body. So when I'm in Morocco at the beach, before I get into the water, I stopped and felt my feet in the sand, okay? I feel when I'm with my swimmers, I'm having them sit and feel I'm sitting next to the pool. I'm not in the middle of the ocean, right? I'm at the doctor's office, I'm doing this before I walk in or each moment of the time, right? To actually get myself physically grounded in the place I am, in the body sensations that I am. So that's the physical part. Then also the metaphorical part or the spiritual part or the whatever is the narrative that I'm putting to this physical location, right? This is now informing my emotional response. So sitting in the doctor's office, smelling the smell of whatever that is, the cleaning stuff, the other patients, the whatever that unique special smell is. You know what I'm talking about? When you go to the doctor's office. My students, they smell maybe the chlorine. This evokes a memory. It evokes a story. It evokes something in us. Me sitting on the sand with all these other people that I had stories about, right? We're meaning-making machines. But when I start to notice my physical location and the story that I'm applying to it, this is also helpful to be grounding, right? Because I can start to see that this is story it is not necessarily truth, or it's not necessarily danger, right? The smell of the alcohol, even though the alcohol is in the cleaning fluid, it's not necessarily telling me that there's an actual danger right now. My nervous system might be triggered up by this past association though, right? So me understanding and starting to get clarity around that this is a story. The people that I'm doing this activity with, I have a story about them, about me, about how this should all operate. When I start to recognize the story that's there, I can make a difference I can get a little bit of space between me and it being a story. That this is something that I'm making up out of habit, I'm making up out of experience, whatever it is. But it starts to give me, just like feeling the body in the present, it starts to settle things out. Instead of it just being a story that swirls and swirls and swirls, I start to see, oh, hello. You're now something I can have this like third person point of view to. All of this is to ground ourselves, right? And to slow things down. So that's the first step. When you want to make change, get physically present and to see the story that you have. The second piece of it is, where do I want to go? Is start to looking at, where do I want to go? So this does look like goals, but I have a different spin on it. It's not just like, I want to weigh so many pounds and lift so many weights and make so much money and catch this particular wave and whatever the things are, right? Like, we know how to make a goal. It's not just a goal, a random goal, but it's also, what do I assume is going to happen when I reach that goal, when I get that thing? What do I think my story is going to be then? How do I think I'm going to feel then? The reason why I want to look at it like that, I want to not just say, when I catch the wave, in the case of the boogie boarding, when I catch the perfect wave and I do this 360 spinny thing and then I ride it all the way in, I will say about myself. Those are the essential, important parts that we miss when we do goal setting. There is something there. We do have that in there, but we're not cognizant of it oftentimes. So we want to bring that into our true awareness. What is it that I think? Who do I think I'm going to be when I get there? Now, why do I want this? Because the question then becomes, how can I be that now? So in the case of my swimmers, right, they want to have control or comfort. So we start to notice, how can we have control and comfort as part of the process? So that the physical result of being able to move your arms and legs in a particular way going down the pool comes out of this place of control and comfort, instead of hoping you have that at the end. So let me tell you, there's lots of people who can do lots of skills, but they don't have this sense of control or comfort because they're more attached to the skill acquisition than who they are as part of that. So for me, for Morocco, for boogie boarding, what was most important to me is that I was having fun, that I was taking care of myself. I had my own back, right? That I was able to recognize, because I knew this about myself, recognize when I'm in compare and despair and I'm complaining and negative and putting myself on a trajectory that's unpleasant for me and for others around me. That's a challenge for me when I'm learning something new and hard. I knew that actually was probably the hardest goal for me, right? Was just to have fun. And so I kept looking for that and regrounding that and bringing in that curiosity to that piece of it. Because I could catch the biggest wave in the world and still beat myself up that it's not good enough, because I could catch the best wave and do so well, but there's always a way that I could improve. In college, everybody would say, if you ask Cori, how was something? Her comment would be, well, it could have been better. That's what would have been written in my college yearbook. It could have been better. Well, it is true. We can always learn. Whenever you learn something, it always shows you something else that you can strive to. But if I'm always waiting to strive to that thing, to have fun, to have comfort, to have joy, then I never get to have those things. So I knew for me, fun in that particular context was what it is. Going to the doctors, for me, it started out with just being able to be grounded, that I wasn't, because I had disassociative experiences in that place because it was so fear-inducing for me, right? So my first goal there was to be able to stay grounded in myself, just to have a certain presence, a certain anchoring, right? So I want to first start with a grounding, then look at where I want to go, but more importantly, how do I want to think about myself and how do I want to feel? So then I have the third step. The third step is to step into action, is to find an action step that does take you towards the physical goal, let's say. I have to actually take a step forward into learning the boogie boarding. I have to take a step forward into engaging with the medical community. I have to take a step forward into learning to swim for the people who are doing that, or having a conversation with my spouse or my teenage kids, right? Whatever the uncomfortable thing is, I do need to step into it. It's not a total mind game. I have to take an action. Now, the key here is going back to that with that goal. How do I want to think and feel when I take that action? I want to look for and test out and play with a step that I can stay connected to how I want to be thinking and feeling. Now, I might just take a huge step. I did just like, all right, leapt into the water, see what the heck is going on, right? And I would know when it was too big of a step because I couldn't stay attached to those pieces that I desired. That narrative, I could hear that negative narrative. I could feel the tension in my body, the disconnection. So it just let me know, a little too big. Okay, great. Now I know that. What could be a smaller step? How could I play with that a little bit differently? What was the concern that came up there that maybe could be addressed? Right? I'm now bringing curiosity into, I'm back to step number 1, the new story. I'm going to ground again, and I have a new story. Here's where I have my own guarantee. My guarantee is my commitment to myself that I'm going to be softly inquisitive about that action step. It doesn't matter what the result of it is. If it got what I thought it was going to do or it got something different, I'm going to look at that step with a winning compassion and a curiosity. So that way I don't start to blame and shame myself and move away from the continued learning and growth, but I can lean into it in a way that doesn't have shame, but is full of love and compassion. This is how I guarantee my own growth and success, no matter what the circumstances are. Yes, there we go. I do know a little about grammar. Maybe? Okay, you guys. So 3 steps: grounding, where I want to go and who I think I'm going to be, and 1 small step towards it. Start back again. What is my new story? With loving compassion. Now, it's easy for me to tell you these steps. I want you to mull them over, see what stands out to you. Here's the other thing I know, is it is hard to do these things alone. I have worked with lots of people over the years to help me in these areas. I don't look to other people so much for the expertise that they have, but I'm looking for their help in showing me what I can't see yet in myself. I am the expert in me. You are the expert in you. But when we work together with people, it helps to reveal things that we had hidden from ourselves for lots and lots of reasons, lots and lots of stories. This is why I listen to podcasts like this. This is why I put out this podcast for you to do this together. This is also why I have a new program out called Strong from Within. It's an 8-week program, and this is your invitation. I would love to work with you. I'm looking for a small group of people to work together that we can practice together, and I can guide you to your own guaranteed success because you know you. We just sometimes have this story that overwhelms us. We have too big of steps. We don't really have permission to celebrate our growth and learning. And that's why we do this together. So if you have an area in your life that you're like, man, I'd like to show up differently to this for myself and for the other people involved or other area of that circumstance. I'd like to have more calm confidence in this area. I would like to unfold it, and I'd like to walk with other people who are doing the same. That's you. Come check out Strong from Within, and let's see. Maybe we do this together. I'd love to have you. Bye.